What's up, guys? Welcome to Shinecast, where we broadcast our thoughts and feelings. I'm your host, AJ,
My name is Yesha.
I'm Mason.
And I'm Itzel.
and we'll be talking about time management today. So, to start this off, how do you guys define time management?
I think it's just knowing what your schedule is. I think it's different for everyone. So knowing how you manage that, knowing what things you have and when, and creating a schedule that is personalized to you.
Yeah, I agree with all of you. Actually, I mean, time management is it's such a broad thing. I mean, not everyone can define time management, but we can definitely have a generic term for it. Like, I mean, I feel like time management is like very self-explanatory. Time and management.
Yeah.
Manage your time. But I feel like with our past experiences, we can define time management, how it's worked for us. So I would like you guys to talk about what you do to manage your time.
Yeah, so I talk about this all the time, and I think I brought this on a past episode, but I like keeping like a physical journal, and I've been journaling for like 6 years now, and I like keeping a physical calendar, and I make it all cute, and I have a schedule that I have every week, and there's the times on the side, and I like to use this method called time blocking, meaning like, okay, if I have a meeting during this time, then I'll do homework during this time, or I'll even fit in some work during like lunch or something at school. So basically, I also have a reminders app, and that's where I have like all my events, all my meetings, and the links to all those stuff, and events as well, and the certain times and locations when they happen, so that they also pop up on my phone if I don't have my journal with me. So that way I have like a notification, and I know in advance when I'm going to be there and where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing. And I also know like when I have tests. So I like having 3 different lists on my reminders app, and they're for like my extracurriculars. And then I have my nonprofit stuff. And then I just have general stuff like meetings and events. And then my journal is where all of my events lie. So therefore I have a physical and a digital copy. So that's how I like managing my time.
Like when you use the reminders app, like I've tried to use it before. Are you able to like put it like a day ahead? Because sometimes I do it for like if I make a plan that same day. Sometimes I say set a reminder for like at this time. Are you able to like set it like a day ahead? Because I'm gonna start using that if I
Dude,
can.
You can, yeah.
I low-key struggle with putting, using the reminder app on my phone. I don't know. Whenever I put it, and I put a date, and that day comes, right? It gives me an alarm. But that thing constantly just keeps repeating over the rest of the week. I was like, what? I'm done with this. And then I was like, it's fine. I use a pen and notebook to write like a journal.
Yeah. Personally, I use this planner specifically for like my daily life, and then I also have like an academic planner just so like I can like keep the 2 separate, because it's like it's too much just having everything on one. So what I believe is just having 2 or like even 3 journals is fine. And yeah.
And so, following up on that, what is one thing you guys take priority for you on a daily basis, like family, and how do you time manage that? Because some things can take longer for our time than other things. So yeah.
Yeah, so I would say it like depends day to day. Like what I said, if I know I have a test coming up, then I will prioritize that whole week to study for that test. And I usually have like self-care Saturdays where I will literally dedicate my whole day to just like taking time for myself, because I know that on the weekdays when I have to study, when I have to do my extracurriculars, I know I won't have that time. And even then on the weekdays, I still want to schedule like at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes of self-care time. So that way I have time for myself, and also being able to put in the time for my extracurriculars. So that way I'm not like burnt out,
Correct.
So like I think my main priority, I don't know if this is gonna sound selfish or not, is myself. Because
No, me too, girl.
worries.
Me too. Oh.
Because like I kind of like, for me, like I like helping people. I enjoy teaching people. I tutor around campus sometimes, and I think if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. You just become like the biggest hypocrite.
Right.
Because you
Yeah.
can't offer advice when you don't even take your own. You know what I'm saying? So like
I agree.
I'm not gonna lie, my senioritis has been hidden. Like my procrastination's
Yeah.
been bad, but I've always take priority and taken time out of my day to like take care of myself. As a track athlete, I go home, I ice, make sure my legs are good the next day, and I just make sure like I'm feeling well first before I even touch my schoolwork.
Yeah. For personally, it's same thing like what Mason said. Like I always focus like more on like on myself, because if I'm like I've dealt with burnout so many times before. Like if I don't prioritize myself, then I'm not gonna get anything done. So I might as well prioritize myself and then do what I need. Like, and you guys know the 5-minute rule, like where you do something for 5 minutes and then try to keep on going.
Yeah.
So
Like that's what I mostly do all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree. When I was about to start junior year, I was really harsh on myself about like, doing it academically and managing my extracurricular. The biggest thing was managing my extracurriculars, because I was like, I want to take all these big classes. How am I going to do this? And I was prioritizing all my time into just academics, and I wasn't able to manage my other extracurriculars, and that really affected me. I got burnt out. I wasn't enjoying anything, that I was doing. I was like, I basically thought school was work in a way, but starting, ever since I started Shinecast and I've been able to share my thoughts, I better, manage my time with what I do, especially when it comes to like, managing school and then other things in your family and, just meetings. I mean, constant meetings. So, so next up, what's it called? Mason touched on senioritis. What do you want to define what senioritis is?
Oh, shoot. So senioritis is like that feeling of just like lack of motivation during senior year, especially because you're done, and like you get your college acceptance letters, and like your motivation just drops for school. I'm not gonna say like if everyone gets hit the same way. I think Yesha has like much better like control over her senioritis because she's involved in so many clubs.
Thanks. I don't think so.
That's just my honest opinion. Like my senioritis is bad to the point where like I've been slacking on my homework, but that senioritis is just that lack of motivation.
I mean, that definitely brings procrastination into account too, right? You procrastinate a lot.
Yeah,
when you're your second semester senior, you're like, oh, I'm basically done with school, but I still have to go to school. Just like a self reflection question. What's your procrastination level right now? Like, that you're going through from 1 to 10. Mine is a 5, I think.
10.
10.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, like a 10. I'm gonna be real. Don't do everything I do, well, I'm about to say, but like I take AP Stats, and the homework is like not worth a lot, and I have like 12 zeros in my homework.
Oh my god.
It's bad.
It's okay, Mason. You get that up. I know it.
I
You
have
can
an
do it.
C's get degrees, okay?
I have an A right now, so I think it's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It can be hard because it's like really like hustle culture, especially senior year. I feel like
Exactly.
our class is
Yeah.
like super competitive, so competitive, and it's really hard to be surrounded by like people that are like, oh my gosh, they're doing so well, they have so many things. But I think like in terms of procrastination, you're not always going to feel motivated. And I was just talking to Mason about it earlier, but I like to try and keep myself disciplined because I know that it will all pay off in the end. And right now I am definitely not feeling very motivated, but as a senior, I think it's really important that you just continue to keep disciplined. Like I've tried to make it a priority to like wake up early in the morning so I have extra time to get ready, maybe get in some study time if I have like a quiz that morning, because usually AP Chem for me is like right and early in the morning, so I have a first period, and sometimes I'll try and make some time to do some like active recall, do some studying. So I also like setting my little self-care time at the end of each day, so I still have something to look forward to and I'm not like super burnt out. So I think that's also a really important thing.
I definitely agree with Yesha. When you're in such a cutthroat environment and it's so competitive, like you like forget yourself in a way. Like it's like you're just in a video game and you just want to keep going. Like it's hustle culture. I'm like, no, that's not worth it. Why would you want to do that? Like do what you want to do. Do what you're passionate about is the biggest thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And don't think that pursuing this hustle culture. I mean, it could show that you're a hard worker, but in the end of the day, what you go through internally, feeling demotivated, feeling you're not enough, is a big factor in how that will play when you're going to apply to these big schools. Next thing I want to talk about, our phones. I mean, we use it every day. So like from a scale of 1 to 10, how often do you use your phone, guys?
Dude, 20.
Oh
20.
my god.
Dude, I'm on my phone in class.
That's
When I'm not supposed to. Like, that's how bad it is. I go to sleep with my phone, guys. I'm so sorry. It's so
Low
bad.
key, I've been doing that too. I I was scrolling reels and then I just blank, and then the moment I wake up, my phone's on my forehead. I was like, and it's at 10%. I was like,
Yeah, it's so bad.
Honestly, for me, how I manage my phone, I don't think I have like that bad of a screen time compared to some people, but the way I manage it is I'm at mom's place, so I always leave it outside of my room when I'm about to sleep, just to make sure, like, because before I used to not get a lot of sleep because of my phone, and like my time management and all that stuff was terrible because of my phone. But like once I started going to sleep earlier and waking up earlier and like getting that rest that I need, I feel more motivated. I feel like I can manage my time better because I can remember what I'm doing that day. And like just putting my phone outside of my room has like benefited me a lot. So I think that's how like I control my phone time.
You're better than most of us.
I mean,
Dude.
I definitely put like what's it called, that thing, time rundown or something like that in your settings.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
time limit.
Time limit, like on certain apps.
No,
on
I
social
had that.
media
I
and
had
stuff.
that, but then I
Even
got
my emails, dude. I was addicted to checking my emails. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, what's popping? And I was like, nothing's popping, dude. no one sent you an email. Stop worrying. And that affected my time management too, because I don't know for every phone, but for Apple, like the newer generation phones, like it tells you how many times you picked up your phone throughout the day, and I think last time I checked, it was like 257
Wow.
times.
Oh my god.
Light
And I was
work.
like, and you don't even realize it, right? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, our phone is a big thing, and it could definitely impact our time management. I mean, in ways of like, oh, I'm gonna study for this test real quick for like 20 minutes. But sooner you know, you only study for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Like, okay, personal experience. That's what happened to me last night. But yeah. What about you guys? Do you guys think phones are a distraction?
Yeah,
And what are some ways
sure.
that
100%.
what are some ways you could cope and manage your time well with your phone? Specifically,
Dude.
Wait, what do you mean? Like with your phone or?
like just going on your phone and going off on your phone, and how
Oh.
I feel like you just gotta like
'Cause-
know when to get off.
because no matter what you do, the time is running, the clock is
Yeah.
running. You need to know how to manage it, right? That's what time management is.
Yeah.
But our phones are such a big thing that we constantly keep looking at them. But I'm just curious about like how like, do you guys know what you guys done? Like Mason said that you put your phone outside your room to sleep so it doesn't mess up your sleep cycle. Any other thing you guys have done?
I know it doesn't work for most people, but I actually have a specific like DND that I put, and I customize it so only like my parents can text me, or my parents can call me, or my sister. And over time, you just get used to it if you keep putting it on. I automatically just like, it's like muscle memory. I put it on right when I'm supposed to be doing homework, extracurricular stuff, or if I have a meeting. And over time, I've just gotten used to it, and it's also connected to my laptop. So then my laptop has it. So then I'm not receiving texts.
Yeah.
So that way, like over time, like you kind of are more focused and you get used to it anyway. So that way you're kind of staying off your phone. And I also have a windowsill, and it's like right behind me. So I would have to, this is my desk and my windowsill, I have to like turn around and reach for it. So like that's already kind of a lot for me. And that way, like it motivates me to not use it.
Yeah. No.
And no.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
it's
that's
good, yeah.
All right. So one last thing, daylight savings happen, right? And so what do you guys think? Does daylight savings affect your time management and affect the way you act?
Yeah. When we lost that hour's sleep, I was going to sleep like at 9 and 10. And then we lost that hour. So now I'm going to sleep like 11, 12. And it's like really messing me up because I have like early flight and now I have like swim in the morning. So I'm like dying over here. I'm like surviving off like 3 hours of sleep right now is like not even cute anymore. It's not.
So like, honestly, yeah. So the first day it kind of messed me up because I woke up, I think it was like, at 9 when I wanted to wake up at 8, just because like I forgot to set an alarm, and like, when I woke up, I checked my phone, like, oh, it's 9 already. I'm kind of cooked for the day. But I think after that, I had to like readjust like my internal, like I had to like mentally readjust my like internal clocks, and I was like, okay, I'm losing an hour, so I gotta like readjust some stuff around my schedule and make sure I'm still fitting in everything I want. So that's how I would do it.
For me, I was actually awake it was Sunday night, right? Yeah. I was actually awake. My favorite music artist dropped his album after 5 years.
Cardi?
Yeah. and he had a Rolling Loud what's it called performance that day, and I was watching it all night long, and I saw the clock go from 2 to 3, and then I was like, shoot, I have to go to sleep, man. I just lost an hour of sleep, and I was walking up the stairs, and my mom's just standing in front of the staircase. He's like, boy, if you don't get your because like I don't know, it also changed how I schedule my things, schedule my time, because you see the sun's up at like 7 now, right?
Yeah.
Before that was like the sun's setting by like 5, and I feel like that messes up my routine of like remembering that I have to do stuff, or like even if I take a nap, like I think like, oh, it's the morning, but it's actually still night. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will move on to our next segment with our special guest. Hi guys, we have our guest here today, Mr. Ginnever from American Canyon High School. And I'm your host, AJ.
Kushan Giri.
And it's Sal.
And we will be talking about time management. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. G, and what you do?
Yes, I am a biology teacher, AP biology teacher, AVID teacher, American Canyon High School. 12 years running.
Anything else? What are your hobbies?
You name it, it's my hobby. Anything outdoors, I am a big fan of.
You like hiking?
I do like hiking.
Could you
Lots of
explain some of the places you've been through?
17 countries and counting.
Dang.
All 50 states. All national parks.
All for enjoyment?
Of course. Enjoyment. Vacations.
Nice. And so this whole podcast is about time management, and we want to ask you firsthand, what does time management mean to you?
What does time management mean to me? Well, I can see by everyone around me that you are all young adults, right? So you guys are heading out to college, career, right? Mm-hmm. So exciting time for everyone.
Yes.
Right? Exciting
Can
time.
anyone relate?
Yeah, exciting. And a little scary.
True.
Right?
True.
Yeah.
A little scary. So I guess my best definition for our audience here for time management would be doesn't have to be as scary as everyone makes it out to be. And to reduce the anxiety and stress of life that will happen, all the curveballs and obstacles in you guys' way. Time management, I would define it as strategies or steps or things that you can use to reduce the scariness. Is that a word? Scariness?
Yeah.
Reduce the anxiety of what's in front of you, what's upcoming.
Do you think you manage your time well?
I have much experience with time management, yes. So the things that I will probably be talking about are through experience. Yeah, definitely.
And so the big question, what are your last experiences and how were you able to manage time? You went through school, you went through college, you've been in very different countries, even missing your flight can be a thing if you don't manage your time. So right. What do you want to?
So your question is, what do I do? What are my strategies?
Yeah.
What do I do for time management?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I think it can start with the simplest things, things that I see students and, people your age, a simple day-to-day daily planner. I don't understand why anyone wouldn't have that. Calendars, even whether it's on your phone or literally a piece of paper on a wall. I don't know why I don't see that more often. You got to prioritize. And for each and every one of us, that is kind of subjective, right? What is a priority for each and every one of us? Those things need to go to the top. I'll just give you an idea of my day-to-day. As a teacher, every day I leave school, I make sure that I know what I'm doing the next day. I don't wait to the morning of. That would be, things can go wrong, right? If I have to photocopy stuff or if I have to set up a lab, that's all done the day before, probably a week before, if I need lab supplies. So, just to vision this, in my room, I have a calendar and I know exactly what I'm doing day to day. I know what I'm doing next week. I know what I'm doing the week after.
What did you do with the Shinecast for podcast? Like, how did you time manage that?
Well, you told me what time to get here. Did I make it on time?
Yes.
So when I say I'm going to do something on my calendar, I will literally put, "Hey, this is something I got to do."
And by the way,
I make sure I'm here because you guys are relying on me, and if I'm late, that reflects poorly on me, and it reflects, that's a waste of your time. So again, that's a priority that, if you guys, going forward in life, if you say you're going to be somewhere, make sure you are and have a calendar so you don't overbook.
By the way, he doesn't only have one calendar; he has two. I've seen it myself. It's pretty crazy. A lot of crossing overs, a lot of managing.
Well,
a lot of
actually,
arrows.
I have 6 calenders.
Never mind.
In my house.
Never mind.
So yeah, you might say that's over planning, but I say, or here's another thing I've had people say, isn't that kind of screw up your, you're like, you're kind of winging it type of thing. Isn't that okay? And, to me, if I have a schedule and I know what I'm doing, it actually opens up more opportunities for me to fit things into my schedule because I'm not, I'll call you back. I don't know what I'm doing. No, I know exactly what I'm doing. And if I'm not available at 3:30, how about 4? So with this schedule, I know exactly how to fit. And I can fit in 3 times more activities than most people do just because I know exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it.
Would you say your 6 different calendars are for different things, or do you just mix all of them?
Yes, my 6 different calendars. So I have one at school. So I got my work. You guys are all going to get a job soon. I got my work calendar. I know what I'm doing when. First, when I get home, right in front of me is a big whiteboard, so I can keep track of everything. When is my last oil change in my car? When do I change out my key fob and my key? I don't want that going bad. I need to know my battery at every car step. Go upstairs. I got one for all my future vacations. There's visas you got to get if you're traveling abroad.
I almost forgot about that.
Permits you got to get. There's, you name it, you got to get it well in advance. So, it just depends on, I got a different calendar for each little aspect of my life. And man, does it make life easier when I don't have to worry about what I'm doing day to day. Everything's planned out weeks in advance.
Does it make your vacations better since you don't gotta always think about it while on it?
Well, you tell me, when you guys go on vacation with your parents or friends or whatever, do you wake up one morning and say, "What are we doing today?"
Yeah.
Yeah. All the time.
You have just traveled 2,000 miles to like a beautiful place, and you didn't prep like what you were going to do that day. That to me is nonsensical. Like I don't. So, over winter break I was in. Central America, basically all over the place. So, yeah, there was some sketchy stuff for sure. There was some problems there, but I limited the problems, border crossings, getting with some, people that, were armed, by having plans. I knew where I was going. I had guides. I knew, when I can cross borders, what visas I need, what paperwork I need. And so by planning ahead, pretty smooth.
So you would say you had a calendar for the things planned in the future Like,
Oh, yeah,
even
yeah.
vacations. Even
Oh, you
like,
have to.
Even
Yeah, you
even
have
though it's on your phone, that you can get a reminder. You still use the calendar. Or
Well, I can if I'm off in the middle of nowhere, I will transfer my calendars to my phone so I know what I'm doing. Yeah. So yeah, you obviously you're not going to carry 6 paper calendars around. I would be locked up as insane.
Big time management guy over here.
big time management guy,
6
man. 6
calendars.
calendars. I could never. I barely have 1 calendar. So you also talk about your student life in Mexico and that you were doing a science project, but like how would you manage touring and then managing classes and projects at the same time while working in a whole another different country? I mean, that's a huge thing.
Like touring what?
Like,
Touring around.
Because you
while
remember
I'm
you were
there.
touring. You were in a college which had a 3-to-1 ratio. Most of them were boys. Only one was a girl. And then
No, other way around.
Oh, cut that out. You mentioned like 3 of them. Wait, 3 of them were girls and 1 of them were boys.
No, well,
Oh,
so you're talking about traveling. Okay, so if you guys get the opportunity, I can't emphasize enough traveling abroad, studying abroad. Do everything in your power to do that. It's an incredible experience.
You didn't miss your family?
Well, I was gone a year and I'm a phone call away. No, they were okay with it. But yeah, so as I basically hopped on a plane knowing, donde está el baño was the words I knew in Spanish at the time. So I hop on a plane. Yeah, it was crazy. But I hop on a plane and I get there and I'm basically taking classes at the University of Guadalajara, which is the classes are taught in Spanish, right? So as far as time management goes, you've got all the problems of a regular student. So yeah, you're going to have to tutors, study time, all that, and then add in the fact that I needed to practice my Spanish. I'm literally listening to a teacher in Spanish at a college level. That's challenging.
So how was your way to commute to the college back where you stayed? Because I know whole different country. You don't know the Spanish that well, like it was high school Spanish, and
well, you learn fast.
Oh, you learn fast.
When you immerse, and I know you guys all take a foreign language. It's
correct.
2 years of a foreign language in high school. You're not learning the language. All right. No offense to the foreign language teachers, but if you really want to learn a language, you got to immerse yourself to the point where you're not speaking any English. I was staying with a family in Guadalajara, and they didn't speak any English. So if I wanted to eat, it had to be in Spanish, so necessity that speeds up the learning process. Right. So, and as far as, again, time management goes, the mother of the family, dinner was at 4:00. If I wasn't there at 4:00, I don't eat. So, that's, again, put it on the calendar, right?
Exactly.
Make sure and out of respect, the family's eating at 4:00. I don't show up at 4:30. You don't do that. So there you go.
Back to you as a young high school student, right? You also told us you took AP Bio and you failed like your first test, but you studied 5 hours a day. So a lot of these kids these days have a lot of extracurriculars after school. They have multiple things. They have sports, they have meetings, stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure you said you had over 1,000 community hours. But how did you manage those 5 hours of studying with all that going on?
So you're saying, like, how do you manage everything at the high school level?
Yeah.
Specifically the high school. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, in your experience.
Yeah. So, when I was in high school, yes, I was taking AP classes, dual enrollment, honors classes, just like all you guys were. And yeah, so I got the wake up call was like you said, I told you guys in class, I literally failed my first AP biology test.
Yeah.
I never failed one again. So again, time management. So, I'll just, one more thing on that is, as you guys go through life and grow up and get older, you really have to do some self-reflection and understand your strengths and weaknesses as a student. You guys are going to college, and again, college is a totally different animal. You're going to be lecture, test, lecture. Doesn't matter what school you go to, right? Lecture. And if you're going to a UC, it's a grad student. It's not even the professor half the time. So what works best for you for learning? Establish that as your, how do you learn? And if you don't learn that, and students don't, that's why we have such a large, freshman year fail out, they call it, right? Really, it's different for every person. So my strategies don't necessarily work for everybody, but as you mentioned, study 5 hours a day.
Yeah. How do you do that? How do you?
Yeah, well, when you say 5 hours a day, you got to understand you don't have to do that 5 hours every single day.
Not
right?
constant.
So, when you're taking a class, and you guys know this, you're taking a difficult class.
Exactly.
Yeah. A difficult class where the teacher is introducing a lot of content. And the higher you go, the more content they're going to introduce.
Yeah.
Grads, when I went to grad school, my goodness, it was like I didn't know anything. So I'm just like a sponge. I'm taking it all in. So, as you're going through this experience, what the teacher's talking about that day, I take it upon my responsibility to learn that material that day. So before I go to bed, I'm studying, and that may take 20 minutes. That may take 5 hours. I may have to take a whole weekend to learn something that's a difficult. So, again, I'm honest with myself, and when I say I study, I understand what study means. Some people don't. Study to me is you understand you don't just read it. Opening up a book is not studying.
Definitely not cramming, right, Mr. G?
Yeah, and again, I'm looking right at the camera so everyone can see that I'm serious about this. In college, the idea of the 2 a.m. the night before the test studying, every psychologist in the world will tell you that's not effective study time, right? The brain doesn't work that way. So, and for me, the way my study habits have evolved, what works best for me is little bits every day. So, if I study, I can't study for 5 hours straight, but throughout the day, again, here's my 6 calendars. I'm doing this. This is at 1 o'clock. That's at 3. That's at 6. All right, I got some time there.
Does it ever burn you out?
Yeah. Does it ever burn you out in a way? You
always
never have time?
No, because again, schedule in your exciting activities. I mean, what am I doing while I'm studying? I'm playing guitar most likely. So while I'm playing guitar, I'm also doing, in my head, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What was this? What was this? What was this?
But don't you find it difficult to go from studying to doing what you want and then having to go back to studying?
No, because again, I know what the priority is. The priority is studying. If that's the priority for that day, say I got a test Tuesday. What's the priority? Me streaming a bunch of Netflix movies, me watching YouTube videos, or me getting ready for the test on Tuesday. So if you eliminate those distractors, you got 24 hours a day. 24 hours in a day.
I still don't think that's enough.
But most of the time, you have 8 hours of sleep, and then you have 8 hours of school. So that's 16 hours that's taken away.
But those 8 hours of school, that is study time. So are you using it correctly? Are you being the best you can be in that class, or are you talking the whole time and then having to go home and review the material because you didn't pay attention?
Managing your time, guys.
Yeah, so and again, that's just me. We all know the people that gets a concept in 2 seconds, right?
Yeah.
So I curse them. I'm like, but that's not me. I know it's not me. So I have to work within my parameters, which is, I put a ton of time in studying. It's just the way it is.
So as a teacher now, how do you make time for your family or your cats? And and how do you grade a lot of student work? You have 3-4 classes every single day, and then you assign a lot. You assign as packets, but it's still the tests. The lab. The lab is a big thing. You said you were there once in class at 1 a.m. Trying to fix the lab or trying to make the lab correct as possible.
Yeah, and the freshman work too. So
that was a long. I was there quite late in the night.
Yeah,
fixing your labs.
How do you even sleep
Well. Now you're getting into teacher 101. Here's teacher time management. Is any teachers going to be watching this, you think?
Mr. Allred.
All right. Well, anyways, after
the whole American Kenny High School.
Yeah. Well, after 12 years of doing this, I have learned the best way to grade papers, and that is this. students need immediately feedback, right?
Correct.
It doesn't do you guys any good if you take a test and you don't get your grade for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So it falls upon me to make sure I get your feedback as quick as I possibly can. And the way I can do that is, and I'm giving away my secret now because you don't even know this, but when you guys are doing the lab, why do you think I have you write the stuff on the board?
Oh snap!
So in your the audience isn't going to know what I'm talking about, but I have these big whiteboards.
Yeah.
This is a pretty serious AP biology class, so
Pretty serious, trust.
They're working quite hard on this.
Torture.
But so I put these torture in a good way.
Cut that board out. Cut that board out.
But no, it's true. But
See, you get it too.
no, you're going to college. This is how it's going to. You need to get ready for this.
This class hit me.
Yeah, it's no joke. So, I got like a whiteboard like this. The camera can't see it, but it's a dry erase board, right? And I have the students write background, hypothesis, all the scientific method stuff right on there. So do I really need to spend hours reading your lab if I can walk by each lab station and I know that you guys are either getting it right or wrong? Immediately feedback. If I see it's wrong, I'm like, fix that. By the time you guys turn in your labs,
That's what you do.
That's smart.
That's what you
I already know it's right or wrong. I don't have
What
to
the
spend
heck?
30 minutes. I'm taking notes. I'm like, all right, group one, they're a little off there, so let me go, let me just correct their ways. And I do the same thing with the freshmen. Like, when they're doing a poster or whatever, you're going to be like, wish we could do posters in AP biology. But when they're doing a poster, I already know the poster's right. I've already walked through the whole classroom. I've checked off. I know every step, everything they're doing. And so by the time they turn in the poster, it's just done. I've already checked it. I know that this one's done. I know that was right. I already told them to fix this, so it's done. So I'm not spending hours grading. Now, granted, I'm not an English teacher, so I apologize to all the English teachers out there who are reading, paragraph upon paragraph. But for me, my grading's already been done in class. And in a good way, you've gotten the feedback already.
And I have one question for you. You mentioned you're an AVID teacher, right?
Yeah.
Okay, as an AVID student myself, sometimes I feel like my AVID teacher doesn't give us enough time for tutorials or just plain study time. How do you as an AVID teacher manage tutorials and then the other AVID stuff that they require to do and then study time?
The difference between the mind of a student and the teacher. So one of the problems is that you got to understand teachers plan things. How long would it take me to do something, right? And keep in mind, this is a teacher that's practiced time management for years and years. And so we do the best we can. Just be honest with the teacher. Hey, we need a little more time. Because I'm other than the AP class, because we don't have time. But any other class, I'm a little flexible. If you guys aren't getting a concept, I can give you more time. But when I plan out a day, a lesson, so to speak, a unit, a lesson, whatever, I'm like, well, this would take me 20 minutes. And then I look around the classroom and people are on their cell phones, and then they're talking, and you're like, Mr. G, we didn't have time to do the assignment. Well, yes, you did. But you don't have good time management. So a big learning for you guys in school is not the hard skills, the ABCs, is the soft skills. Time, especially collaboration and not being on task during collaboration. Some teachers are going to bring you guys to task and call you out, call your bluff. You had time. You just chose poorly how to use that time.
He's looking deep at him.
Hey, no, I pay attention.
And teachers are watching. It looks like we're up there, ah-dee-la-dee-da. No. We know what's going on. We know what students are off task, who's on task, and what you guys are doing. So, yeah, God bless the teachers that are holding you guys accountable and saying, hey, move on. Let's go. Because, again, you're about to hit the real world out there, and if I'm a boss, I'm not going to wait for you. I need this project done tomorrow. Don't come to me and say I can't get it done. I'm paying you to get it done, right? So that's serious business. So, that's a big thing you guys need to learn is since time management, right? Time management.
So to wrap this up, we want to ask you, for us teens, how can we how can we thrive in our life, in our future, from just managing your time? I mean, what do you like? What do you think you could like accomplish with if you just have your time management, on the right track?
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's, speaking of AVID, these are the two things I always send my 12th grade AVID students away with. One, time management. I'll come back to that in a second. The other is networking. So let me just say, success, let other people help you. Let other people get you where you're going to go. And just, I know we're kind of low on time, but as far as like, your future and what success is all about is, people think you go to college for the piece of paper, right?
Correct.
No. Maybe for some people, but the real reason you go to a college and why they're expensive and why some colleges this is a great college. This is one that's it's not on my it's not my favorite college. Whatever. I'd rather go to Berkeley or Stanford, whatever. What sets these colleges apart is the people that are going there know what they're doing, right? So when you guys go to college, the whole point of college is you got the smartest people in the world all working one little thing, right? So these are the people you need to meet. These are the people you need to befriend. These are the people that, hey, you reach out to, you get their business card. These are the people who are going to get you where you want to go. And so that whole networking thing, that's the number one for success, is let other people meet people and let other people do the work for you. Hey, reach out to them and, hey, I know some people. Oh yeah? You know some people? Help me out. Get me where I want to go. So that's one. And then the second thing, as far as time management goes, is just have a plan, short-term plan, long-term plan. Maybe you're thinking 6 calendars is too much. Have 2, right? Keep track of your time and jump on the opportunities that come. Because if you don't have a calendar and someone comes up to you and says, hey, I got a job interview at 3:30. Can you come and meet me? And you're like, uh-oh. Well, I don't know what I'm doing today at 3:30. Someone else just answered the knocking on the door, right? And you're not. So I got my calendar. Wait, 3:30? Yeah, no. How about 3:45? It's right there. I got it. I'm like able to just like jump right on every opportunity. And so you're gonna beat them. You're gonna beat everybody else to the punch, right? And that's what you want to do. So success. As someone who's been through this and you guys are about to undertake it. And again, success is measured in different ways by every people. It's not all about money. I'm a teacher for a reason. I get time off.
Made plenty of money.
Yeah, I make plenty of money, but I'm,
money.
It's not. I'm not altruistic that I want to change the world. I get summers off. This is what it's about, man. So I can travel. So, whatever your success is, you network to get there. Get as many people to help you as you possibly can. And then, have those calendars, have that prioritize and, make sure you're keeping track of your time. Because, again, you got 24 hours in a day.
Do you think that's enough?
Yes.
What about daylight saving times?
It just, how much of that are you wasting? Check your screen times, guys. Check your screen times.
Mine is 8 hours.
Mine's like 11.
That's 11 hours.
His is 24.
Yeah, no.
A couple minutes.
Check.
A couple minutes.
Lower that. You got to get those screen times down. Come on now.
But this is kind of a sad question. After high school, or after you're done teaching high school, you're gonna go save the planet.
I will save the planet. Yes. Is this on camera? I will. Yeah. No.
We're gonna put this behind the scenes, but he's gonna save the planet. He's gonna save the planet.
Yeah. No. I always preach. What's the buzzword now for this? Always learning. Growth. Growth mindset. Growth mindset.
Oh, growth mindset.
Yeah. Growth mindset. That's the big buzzword now, right? So yeah. So upward and onward, right? So when you guys get started, you get your job, you get your education. Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop. So PhD program's next, and after that, I will save the planet, right? Yeah.
He's him, guys.
You save the turtles?
Yes, I will save all the turtles and all the cats.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, a big round of applause for Mr. Ginnever.
Yay! Guys, no one's cheering.
Thank you so much, Mr. G, for your time. And thank you so much, guys, for listening to it. Have a great day.